Hey, hello everybody. It's already Sunday again. How's everybody doing this week? Did y'all do okay? I'm hoping that some other parts of the country are getting this great fall weather that we're getting here. And so, as usual, I have to start with our disclaimers. So the disclaimer is that today is Sunday, September the 10th, and this is a live chat on Facebook. And if you were watching this on Sunday, September the 10th, you were watching it live. Hey, Suzanne. So if you're watching it on Sunday, you're watching it live. If you were watching this later on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this through the blog, hey Casey, then this is not live if you're watching at that point. So I just want to make sure everybody remembers. Hey Sheila, Sheila from Iowa. Hey Cynthia. So I just want to make sure everybody remembers that if you're watching this later, hey Kim, that this is on Sunday, September the 10th. This is a live chat. So, hey Tedders, how are you feeling? So I don't want to hear anybody saying later, hey Rose, I don't want to hear any complaints, hey Shirley Ann, about me saying hi to everybody. So, Sally's on time today. So I guess Sally heard the rumor that I was going to make a GIF for the, you're late face. And hey Sybil, hey Dara, Dorothy, and yes, okay, Sally wants Tedders out of her seat. Hey Kim, so it's good to see everybody. Hey Tiffany. Oh, and Tiffany's a newbie. Everybody say hi to Tiffany. Okay, everybody that's there, there's already several of you there. You all say hi to Tiffany because she's a newbie. It's her first time. So, anyway, back to my disclaimers. Yes, it's live tonight, Sunday, September the 10th. I already forgot what day it was. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, hey Destiny, if you're watching this later on YouTube, don't fuss at me. This was a live chat. I'm sorry. I'm talking to people. I'm going to do this the whole time. The second thing I wanted to talk about tonight is, remember, I do not work for Weight Watchers. I am not being paid by Weight Watchers. And anything I say about Weight Watchers, Smart Points, Beyond the Scale, any of those things, those are all copyrighted information, property of Weight Watchers International. And no, they did not make me say that. I just decided that I would start saying it because I don't get compensated by them. And hey, Vicki, I just love Weight Watchers this much. And I love you guys this much that I do this every Sunday night. And remember what I told Julie, I guess it was last week, once you start something like this, you can't stop. Anyway, hey Lynn. Okay, we're going to jump right in because, hey Betty, I wanted to say first, everybody who's in Florida, if you are in Florida right now, I am so sorry. We are watching, waiting, praying. I don't know what else to say. I mean, our Houston and surrounding area girls just hopefully are getting out of this. And now here it goes again in Florida. So we've literally, us inlanders, we're going to have some tiny effects. And hey, Denise, we're going to have some tiny effects here. But lady, I just don't know what to say. And hey, Mary, I don't know what to say. My heart is just aching. My heart is aching for you all. So please, 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 later, and hey Caroline, later, and Sonia. So, later, if you all would please, comment on here. If you're one of our Florida girls, just, give us a shout out. Let us know how you're doing. Hey Robin. So anyway, my heart goes out to you. So seriously, let me know if y'all need anything. I don't know what I could do, but you know me, I'm willing to help. If y'all need to come here and eat Wegos, come on up. I'll make them for everybody. Hey Robin, hey Lisa, hey Leah. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop saying hi to people because, as usual, we have lots of things to cover. The very first thing is the fact that Dusty is already over here crying because he wants to see you all. Okay. Oh, and Shanna says she loves the orange and is asking if it's a Fitbit. I'm already going to get sidetracked. This is not a Fitbit. Can y'all see this? So if Debbie happens to be here, Debbie for sure knows what this is because Debbie lives in the land of this. And we're hoping that this is still going to be there when we go in a couple of weeks. We, and I'm already seeing, yeah, Lori's from the, has family in the Tampa area, and she's in Chicago freaking out. I know. My sister lives, we'll go back to this in a second, but my sister lives, yeah, and Kim knows what this is too. My sister lives in Peachtree City, Georgia, and she said partly because of panic, and Sonia knows what this is too, partly because of people panicking over the you know, the after effects of Irma. I mean, she's, okay, Bestie, you got to stop, Betty. Over the effects of Irma, you know, coming up even as high, as far north as Atlanta. And I think, yeah, oh, Debbie, yay, Debbie's here. Debbie, we were just showing everybody this. So we're hoping we're not going to be wearing Disney Strong shirts here in 20 days, you know, kind of like the Gatlinburg Strong. Oh, okay, sorry, I got to get the dog early. He's already crying. Anyway, yeah, and Libby's in Noonan, and so everybody that's in Georgia, all the Florida people are flocking your way, and yeah, my sister said the shelves are absolutely already wiped out of bread, water, you know, of course, things like batteries, you know, stuff like that. So basically her and her daughter went to the store today and got, or they went yesterday, and they got cat food, sweet tarts, and I think Starburst or something. And I was like, really? And she said, well, those are the best choices we could make. And she also made it clear that she was not buying bread like the rest of the crazy people, because if there was an apocalypse or whatever was going to happen, whether it was zombies or the hurricane or whatever, that she was not going down eating a sandwich, that she was getting some kind of crazy, I don't know, it was pizza and whatever, but I can't say that I blame her there. Okay, a couple of things, and then we got to get going. We got to get talking. So YouTube. I found out today that when we hit 1,000, that just seems impossible, but anyway, when we hit 1,000 followers on YouTube, or subscribers, I guess, then it opens up this, like a whole new gamut of things that that we don't have available right now. So yeah, if you know anybody that you can share the YouTube with, it's just youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg. And y'all forgive me as I sit here and massage the dog as I'm doing the chat tonight. But this is just you know, I don't know, a weird habit. Oh, one thing I meant to say, some thumbs ups and some hearts just went by. Hey Janet, some thumbs ups and hearts just went by. Ladies, please, 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 if you would, show some love for our Florida girls and for our Houston and South Texas girls. So let's do some hearts for them. These hearts that are right now in this time period, those are not hearts for me. Those are hearts for our friends in Florida. So if y'all would just send Florida some love. The Florida girls can see this. Even if they can't be with us tonight, they'll be able to see the hearts later if they watch this on Facebook. Of course, they won't be able to see the hearts if they're watching this on YouTube, but just know, I will tell you, if you are in Florida and you're watching this later on YouTube, there are tons of hearts going by for Florida. So let's just keep Florida and Houston, and you know, and we keep saying just Houston. It's not just Houston, but anyway, you know, that southern area, you know, in our thoughts and in our prayers. And thank you all for sending them some hearts. Okay, so back on YouTube, if you could, pretty please, share that with some people. And hey, Andrea, if you could share that with some people. Then, you know, and help us get to 1,000. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate all the likes. I appreciate the comments. Hardly anybody comments on YouTube, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, actually from you ladies, I think Sally's the only one who's ever commented on YouTube. So I don't know why people are afraid to comment there, but anyway, if y'all wouldn't mind to do some comments there. And also, pretty please subscribe. Because again, when we get to 1,000, then we get to open up some, you know, like magical YouTube things. So let's go ahead and dive in. First thing I need is a timekeeper. Who will volunteer? Okay, wait, and Cheryl says she sees no comments or hearts or anything. Can somebody help Cheryl with that? So Cheryl, you're watching this on Facebook, I'm assuming, and you're here with us tonight because I can see you tonight, so you're live. But, oh, and one thing I forgot is when you do watch this later, if you watch it on, remember I said YouTube, youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg. But if you watch this on, I'm sorry, wait, I'm reading a message about Florida. Dad, 99-year-old grandmother, baby sister, this is Andrea, and stepmom are fleeing Cape Coral, Florida right now, headed to Kentucky. Grandma is hospitalized in Atlanta for heart and bladder, but she is a strong, tough woman. Oh, okay, Andrea, we'll keep her in our thoughts too. But anyway, so if you want to watch this later with the transcripts, and the transcripts, I had a couple people that didn't know what transcripts were. That's just the written version of this. If you want to be able to access that later, you can print those out. You can rewatch it as many times as you need to. You can copy and paste. You can use the notes as you need to. Hey, Tracy. So that is www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And yeah, and you'll be able to view those later. So now, I need a volunteer. I just need one volunteer. More of you can volunteer, you know, if you want to. But I need a volunteer. I need somebody to be a timekeeper. So what we're getting ready to talk about now, I need somebody to remind us to come back to this topic at about 15 till. So my question is, and this is what we're going to come back to at about 15 till. Can you all see these? Whoop. Okay, I don't know why I'm putting up two hands, and I know y'all can see Dusty because he's joining the feed. So what are these? Can you all see these? What do y'all think those are? I have three of them. And Dusty and I picked them up on our walk 2 days ago. Sally says they're squirrel nuts. Okay. Shanna says Buckeyes. No, they're not Buckeyes. Mary is correct. So this is actually a trick question. So what are these? Yeah, so Dusty and I were walking 2 mornings ago, and it's like we walk at about 5:30 in the morning, and it's usually pretty quiet outside. Okay, so even as much as I'm petting him, can y'all see him? He's like doing this to my hand, like, stop talking to them, Mama. You just need to pet me. Just pet me and rub me. Don't talk to them. Anyway, so we walk at about 5:30 in the morning, and it's not terribly dark outside yet here in Knoxville, but it is quiet. It's very quiet. So the squirrels were hurling these out of the trees when we were walking 2 mornings ago, and it sounded like small bombs were going off. They were throwing them so hard, and the trees that these were coming out of, they cover such a large area of one of the areas that we walk that you couldn't get away from them. You could not get away from the squirrels. And let me show you, one of them's actually cracked. Oh, here it is. This one's cracked. So I'm sure the squirrels were just throwing them to get them open, you know, to be some food, but it felt like that they were throwing them at me and Dusty, at the dog. So again, what are these? And then somebody remind me when it's about 15 till, start talking about, y'all remind me it's time to come back to these, okay? So who's my timekeeper? Who's keeping up with our time and when it's going to be 15 till? So I think I saw somebody earlier that said that they would be a timekeeper. Okay, and Sally and Tedders are like, you know, I don't know, they're messing around again, so I'm just going to try my best to ignore them for a minute. Otherwise, I'm going to have to make a GIF, and am I even pronouncing that right? A GIF that goes, you know. I could do that. I could make a Sally and Tedders GIF to where I'm looking at you all so you know when you're in trouble. But anyway, so yeah, and Teresa says she always tells her husband that they throw them at her and that he doesn't believe her. Look, I have 3. They threw more than 3 at us, but yeah, at least 3. Hey, Taylor. Okay, so who's my timekeeper? Everybody's still answering my question of what these are and talking about the dogs and talking about squirrels and talking about Sally and Tedders getting in trouble. But who's my timekeeper? I need a timekeeper, and this doesn't keep time. Who's my timekeeper? Hey, Taylor. Okay, well, somebody, nobody's answering me, but somebody at about 15 till remind me to come back to these, okay? Okay, something I forgot to mention. My accountability buddy. Thank you, Pamela Sue. Pamela Sue, I always feel like you're getting in trouble when I say your name. But anyway, so Pamela Sue is going to keep up with this. And yeah, Sally, whatever, you're not keeping up with the time. You're too busy messing around with Tedders. But anyway, so one thing I forgot to mention, my accountability buddy bailed on me today. And, you know, we've been talking a lot lately about, you know, like tonight we're going to talk about setting some goals. So one of mine was that we get back on a regular schedule for walking. And this was going to be the first week that both my accountability buddy Karen and I were in town. I have John in town for 1 day. He goes back out of town again tomorrow. So I had him in town for 1 day. Beautiful, beautiful fall day here in Knoxville. John was going to be able to keep the dog. I wasn't going to worry about him, you know, whatever. And Karen's husband came up with other plans. And I'm assuming she's not here to see this. But anyway, so without her, I still got in though, because I got mad and walked further than I normally, or than we have been. So I got in 21,000 steps today. So that's just to show you, if you all are having trouble getting your steps or your exercise in, remember we talked about exercise last week? Yeah, have your accountability buddy bail out on you, and then you can get in 21,000 steps in one day. And hey Karen, you're not late, you're doing fine. Okay, so remember, 15 till, somebody tell me, at a quarter till, we're gonna come back and talk about these again, okay? And he's very interested. Oh, he's gonna eat them apparently. So you know for sure that squirrels had them if he's licking them. Okay, we're gonna put him back in another seat and see how he does. Okay, and Taylor got in 10,000 steps today. Oh, you did, or you're lucky to get in 10,000. Anyway, okay, that's not a normal day for me, but I went all the way to the UT Gardens and back because I thought, well, she's not gonna walk with me, I'm gonna show her. So there are, you know, worse things that I could have done getting irritated. Okay, who went to their meeting this week? Did anybody attend a meeting this week? We talked about, and yes, I know this is backwards. If you're watching this later on YouTube, you do not need to tell me that this is backwards. I know it's backwards. So this was our weekly for this week. And so we're talking about setting our fall goals. But what I advertised in this, for this chat, was that chat number 38 was going to be about pumpkin spice season, because I thought I would get more people to attend if they thought that this was really about pumpkin spice season. And it actually kind of sort of is at the end. But setting our fall goals. And I know like a season might seem like it's a weird thing to, when Betty says this is her meeting. Well, here's your weekly, Betty. Here you go. But setting a goal for a season seems like it might be an odd thing, but in our meeting, we had several people that said fall is actually a hard time for them. And one of the ladies, it was because of pumpkin spice season. She said she literally wants everything. She said that's all she thinks about is pumpkin spice. She thinks about cinnamon and sugar things, pecans. She said pecans, you know, were especially hard for here. And Jennifer says she's here for the pumpkin. I'll get to the pumpkin. You have to sit through the class. You have to sit through class first, Jennifer, and then we get pumpkin at the end. So, yeah, it looks like a couple of y'all set your goals while you were in the meeting. So the meeting topic for this last week was set your fall goals. Look back on your summer to help you move forward with your plan. And one thing that we agreed on, and I wrote myself a note here, you know, these are yours when you go to the meeting. Be sure, if you attend a weekly meeting, be sure you get one of these. If you miss your weekly meeting, most leaders, I would think, keep the ones from the weeks before. So make sure that you get one. And if you're online, I actually found it. You know, last week I couldn't find it. So if you're online, you can actually go to, if you get the e-newsletter from Weight Watchers, let's see. Oh, Teresa says she's in my neck of the woods for her husband's aunt's funeral. Well, I'm sorry that's what you're here for, but hey, maybe I'll see you when I'm walking in the morning. Let's see. So if you are if you're doing this online, or if you have e-tools, you can do, the weekly topic is in the newsletter. So if you are an online subscriber, you should be getting the newsletter by email. If you're not, you need to go, then you need to go online, and you can set it up so that you get the newsletter. And Mary says that she does online. That's perfect, Mary. You can still get this online. So be sure and sign up for the newsletter online, or you can go to weightwatchers.com/weekly topic. And I'll put this in the transcribed notes, but it's weightwatchers.com and then the /weekly topic, all run together, WEEKLYTOPIC. And you can pull this up, you know, for every week. So I think that's, you know, valuable. So even if you're doing this online, if you're attending a meeting, always grab one. If you're doing online only, I just gave you the resources for doing that, and I will put that in the transcripts. So the note that I wrote on the front of mine, because if you look at mine, if you could come around here, you know, and find all of mine, I make notes all over them, and the notes sometimes have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But, so my note from this last week to myself on the front was, what do you want to do between now and Thanksgiving? So that seems really, really, really far away to me. Really far away. But it's not. We're actually already having to plan how many install spots we have left for the granite shop between now and Thanksgiving, because it's going to be here faster than you know, faster than you know, or faster than you realize. And guess what? Thanksgiving comes the same time every year, so we have no excuse for not knowing that it's coming. It comes at the same time every year. So my goal for between, what I want to do between now and Thanksgiving, and this was just a general, this was a big, like a big topic, or not a big topic, like a broad goal, like just a generalized goal. So the generalized goal that I wanted to, something that I wanted to do between now and Thanksgiving. Now this is not little bitty specific goals. This is just a big, a big general goal, is I want to come up with a bad weather plan. And what I mean by that is a bad weather walking or exercising or, something like that plan, because once bad weather starts hitting East Tennessee, and it takes a lot for it to keep Karen and I from walking, other than husbands who want to go to the TVA and I fair. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. We won't, I digress. But from a weather standpoint, Karen and I walk in the rain, we walk in the snow, we walk in the freezing cold, we walk when it's probably way too hot outside. I told y'all last week we have taken our socks and shoes off before and waded through waters that we probably shouldn't have walked through. And the only thing that really slows us down, I'm not a big fan of lightning. So if I can see it, I won't go. But if it's just raining, we'll go. Snowing, go. Too hot, too cold, whatever, we'll go. So what's a big, I want everybody to be thinking about, I want y'all to write it down, even if you don't have, a physical weekly from the meeting. I want y'all to write down a big picture goal. So what's one big thing that you would like to accomplish before, between now and Thanksgiving? And I don't even mean something like lose 10 pounds or, just something, what's one big picture thing? Then I want to talk to you about setting some smaller goals. So let's see. Cheryl says, well, since you comment on YouTube, rewatch it there. Oh, okay. Y'all must still be fussing with Sally. So, okay, are y'all paying attention? Is that something that you need to share with the whole class? Because apparently y'all are having a nice little discussion over there in the corner. Are y'all passing notes? Okay. I'll be back to deal with you all in a little bit. Okay, so in our weekly, we were talking about goals, but we also went back and looked at were there any summer goals? So did you all have any summer goals that you set? So one of the things that we did, and hey Candace, and Candace says teacher face, I recognize that. Yeah, Candace knows this face. What are y'all doing over there? I'm coming back. Do not make me come back there and look to see what you're doing. Yeah, Candace knows that face. She's a teacher here in Knoxville. Anyway, so did you make a summer goal? So one of the things that we had in our weekly, and I want y'all to think about this, especially as you've set your fall goal. So if you didn't set a summer goal, no big deal. If you did though, just write down somewhere. It can be on a note card. Y'all know how I love my note cards. It could be on a note card. It could be on a Post-it note. It could be on whatever. But write down what your summer goal was, and then I want you to do this again for your, for what your goal is going to be for the fall. What was your goal? What was your goal for summer? And then did you achieve it or not? And if you did, how did you make that happen? So my goal for the fall is going to be come up with a bad weather plan. Then when the fall is over, I'm going to go back and say, did I achieve it or did I not achieve it? So I need to do this ahead of time so that we don't get to bad weather and then go, oh, well, there goes another Sunday. We're not going to be able to walk. There goes another, whatever. We're not going to be able to fit it in. So when we get done, did I achieve it? Yes or no? If I did, how did I make that happen? So think about that too. Don't just set the goal and either meet or not meet the goal, but if you did meet it, how did you make it happen? That's going to help you for next time to know what to do to make these goals happen. If you didn't meet your goal, what happened? What got in the way? And then what were some things that you could do differently to help you with your next goal? So I did not come up with a bad weather plan for summer. And summer has bad weather too. And so Karen and I had several days that we had to miss just because of either really, really bad storms or, I mean, it was literally just so hot. And I know if Julie's here, she's going to say it wasn't that hot. But anyway, it was just for us, it was so hot and so humid. Oh, and Jennifer says her leader wouldn't let them leave the meeting until they had written a goal down. That's awesome. And y'all, I can see that y'all are putting some of your goals here. This is a great place to write it down because you can come back and look at it. We can encourage you, and help you look at it, and you can always come back here and check. And Nancy says she got in the way of her own goal. And Nancy, we got to figure out what happened so we don't do that again. Okay, so Weight Watchers wants us to keep up with these goals. Anyway, so something that you learned that will help you the next time. So Nancy, I want you to think about that. What's something that you could have done differently, or something that you learned that'll help you with setting your next goal? So Weight Watchers has asked us to do these as SMART goals. And if you post this on Weight Watchers Connect, first of all, if you're on Weight Watchers Connect, please follow me and I'll follow you back. But I'm under Scrap and Stamp 2. Don't ask. That's a long story. But if you search If You Have an Egg All Run Together, sometimes I'll pop up just because I hashtag that so much. But my username is Scrap and Stamp 2. Again, do not ask. But if you're on Weight Watchers Connect, they've asked us just to hashtag SMART goal. So hashtag SMART goal. And the reason, or SMART goals, sorry, with the plural. So the reason that they're calling them SMART goals is they, and Casey, what are these things called? Where you have a letter, it's SMART, S-M-A-R-T, and you have words next to it. I can't think what that is. Somebody help me out. But anyway, so it's SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So you have to be specific about what the goal is. And I promise we are going to talk about some pumpkin spice stuff here in just a second. But you have to be specific about it. So my fall goal, one of my fall goals, my big picture fall goal, specifically is to set acronym. Okay, Jennifer says acronym. Maybe. Oh, Casey says anagram. I don't know. Do we have a teacher? Oh, wait. Yes, we do. Candace is here. Candace, are you still here, or do we have any other teachers? What is that called? What's it called when you have like S-M-A-R-T? Okay, Kim says it's an acronym. Okay, maybe that's it. Oh, Casey says, okay, yeah, Casey's feigning pregnancy brain. Sure, Casey. Anyway, so specific, so the S in SMART, specific. So for me, my goal is to go ahead now, before it's bad weather, and set a bad weather plan. So that's specific. What is it? It's a bad weather plan. It has to be measurable. So measurable is, do I have a plan? Are we using it? So I can go back and look and see, how many days I was able to walk. Obviously, I track that, so that's measurable, and I can see how many of those were done somewhere else, or whatever my plan's going to be. I can measure how often I use that to know if that was successful. It has to be attainable. I have to choose something that's that's attainable. Like if I say, oh, okay, when it's bad weather, I'm going to go to Gatlinburg and walk. That's probably not going to happen. A, it's bad weather. I'm probably not going to go to Gatlinburg. B, it's still probably going to be bad weather in Gatlinburg. And C, it's like an hour from here. So it has to be something that's attainable. You can't make up a goal that's impossible to reach before you even ever try it. Is it realistic? Yeah, I think it's realistic to set a bad weather, plan. I think that's, very realistic, but you have to make sure that it is. So if I had said that my SMART goal was to be 5'8", blonde, and weigh 115 pounds by Thanksgiving, okay, I could be blonde, I've let my hair fade enough, I'm already halfway there, so I could maybe be blonde. I could maybe get down to that weight. No, probably not. I'd have to hack off a leg, to be that weight. But am I ever going to be 5'8"? That's impossible. So that's not attainable. It's not attainable, and it's not realistic. So pick something that's attainable and realistic. And then the last thing is to make sure that it's time bound. So mine is time bound by the fact that I want to have that plan in place by Thanksgiving. And the reason I want to have it in place by Thanksgiving, I don't anticipate any drastically bad weather Thank goodness we're in Tennessee, so we shouldn't see, we might see a little bit of Irma, but you know, we're probably not expecting any you know, great significance from her. So I'm not anticipating any really bad weather between now and Thanksgiving. I set this goal for Thanksgiving because after Thanksgiving here is when it starts to get iffy. So we're past all the bad, really bad thunderstorms and, you know, pop-up thunderstorms and everything in East Tennessee. We're in a little bit of a lull time. It's not going to be super, super hot here. The humidity is going to start to go down. It was actually like high 70s today, I think. It felt fabulous outside when I was walking without Karen. Anyway, so Scott, I hope you're watching this. Yeah, walked by myself. Anyway, while y'all were enjoying the tractor pull and probably eating funnel cakes, but we'll talk about that later. But I need to get it now. That's why I've set this goal for now. I can't wait until after Thanksgiving when we start having the threat of, you know, not really so much snow here, but, you know, cold weather, and then later in the year, you know, snow. So remember, SMART. So SMART is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And, you know, if you even want to make yourself one of those little charts, you know, the SMART, you know, that would be great. So the four W's of SMART goals, Weight Watchers is getting really good at using these little letter things. The 4 W's of SMART goals are what? What do you want to do? So I want to set bad weather plan. When are you going to do it? When am I gonna walk? Let's say that it's walking. So when am I gonna walk? I'm still gonna walk Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, and Monday and Thursday nights with Karen, Sunday afternoons with Karen. So that's when I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have this plan in place so that I can keep that up. Where am I gonna do it? That one's, you know, a little extra stuff because of the walking. So I have a specific place I walk in the morning, a specific place we walk on Mondays and Thursdays, and a specific place we walk on Sunday. So that one would be too long for me to review here. And then who are you going to do it with? In the mornings, I walk with Dusty. And if John's home, I walk with John and Dusty. And then on Monday nights, Thursday nights, and Sunday nights, I walk with Karen. So those are the 4 W's: what, when, where, and who. Okay, so everybody's going to set a goal. Everybody knows this is backwards. Everybody's knows not to fuss at me, right? Yeah. So, everybody's going to set a goal. Everybody's going to make it a SMART goal. It's going to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And y'all are going to put those here. And I think y'all can even add pictures maybe in your comments. I don't remember. But if you do, if you write this down, you know, if you write this goal down and do that, please post your picture. We would love to see it. Okay. I promised if y'all sat through school that we would talk a little bit about pumpkin spice. So, I'm going to take a sip of water first though. Hold on just a second. It's another beauty of living in East Tennessee and walking, what'd I say, 21,000 steps is I'm stuffy. So, I'm going to need a lot of water tonight. Okay, pumpkin spice season. So, that's what I heard a lot of in our meeting Tuesday, and that's what I've heard a lot of in the If You Have an Egg Weight Watchers group. So this group has gone, and I'll put that, if you're not already in the If You Have an Egg Weight Watchers group, it is a closed group, and you do have to ask to join. And when you find us, please answer the 3 questions that it's going to ask you, because that helps me to quickly identify you as a real human, not a stalker. I still sometimes have to weed some people out. And I got somebody I'm a little on the line about right now. You girls that are in the group probably know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm just waiting to see how this person goes. But I'm just trying to keep everybody safe. This is our safe place, and it's a safe place to share ideas, ask questions, talk about things that you don't want prying eyes to see. I'll post how to ask to be granted access later. But these ladies have been, that's all we've talked about. That is all we've talked about for the last few days is pumpkin spice things or cinnamon sugar things or apples or whatever. That's all we've talked about. So pumpkin spice season, because I don't want to get too much past my time, because I've got a timekeeper out there somewhere who's going to tell me when it's 15 till, right? Right. Anyway, so pumpkin spice season. Who's in a panic? Is there anybody that's in a panic over pumpkin spice season? So we had at least one lady in our physical meeting this week, and I already told you, she's literally freaking out because she has convinced herself that she cannot stay out of the pumpkin spice flavored things. Okay, Sally, yeah, calm down. Out of the pumpkin spice things. Oh, and apparently I've got a 10-minute, it's a 10-minute warning until we hit 15 till. Okay, so she's panicking because of this. So I did a little bit of research. Do y'all know how many just retail items there are? And by retail, I mean like you're either going to go to the store and pick it up off the shelf and buy it, or you're going to go to a restaurant or a fast food place or something and get it. How many pumpkin spice things there are on the market right now? Does anybody want to guess? I'll give you just a second. I'm going to look at my magic band like it's a clock and give you all just a second to answer that. Just any idea how many there are? Just roughly, just in general. And by the way, Casey was so cute. I'd take it off and show you, but I can't. So when you order a magic band, you can put your name on it, and mine on the inside says Nona, since I will be a Nona soon. Well, not too soon, in January, and John's already says Papa. So yeah. Okay. So some of you ladies are going crazy and saying like 1,000 and 2,000 and and whatever. So, and I don't know why Pamela can't hear me, but anyway, okay, so I found literally, okay, I don't know how many exactly that there are, but within 60 seconds of when I started looking, I found over 60, it took me 60 seconds to find 60. So there have to be hundreds and hundreds of these things. Just a few of them were, of course, everybody knows Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. Pumpkin spice season starts. It officially starts here in the U.S. when Starbucks releases their pumpkin spice latte. So I don't know how they became the timekeepers of, hey Mary, I don't know how they became the timekeepers of pumpkin spice season, but apparently they are. Okay, so Starbucks has a pumpkin spice latte. Krispy Kreme has pumpkin spice donuts. Okay, and Cheryl says on her laptop she can't ever hear me, so she uses her phone for this. Okay, so Lindt, the L-I-N-D-T, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Lindt, and Tedders wants to know what a magic band is. Oh, Tedders. Oh, I'll let Casey explain that so that we can keep talking about this. Because you know me, I'm probably going to go over. Y'all are going to start screaming at me at 15 till, and I'm not going to be ready yet. But anyway, Lindt has chocolate that's pumpkin spice flavored. Bailey's has they've got a liqueur that's pumpkin spice flavored. McCafe has a pumpkin spice latte. I guess they're in competition with Starbucks. Don't know, haven't had one. M&M's have pumpkin spice flavored, and they've got candy corn flavored, and they have so many flavors we don't need to talk about them. Oreos has pumpkin spice flavored, and my sister-in-law found apple pie flavored. Let's not get distracted and go eat any of those. I'm just telling you some of these things. Sara Lee has pumpkin spice flavored cheesecake. Something called, this one was hilarious, Salazon. I've never heard of Salazon, but apparently they do chocolate. So Salazon dark chocolate with sea salt. Sounds pretty good, right? But it's also pumpkin beer flavored. I don't even know what that means. Has anybody had this? Salazon dark chocolate. It's Salazon dark chocolate, and it has sea salt pumpkin beer. Yeah, and Pamela Sue says that M&M's also has a carrot cake. They have carrot cake M&M's. Yeah. Godiva has pumpkin spice flavored chocolates. Sugarlands has pumpkin spice moonshine. Because we needed one more thing to have that's pumpkin spice flavored. Ben & Jerry's has a pumpkin spice cheesecake ice cream. Nestle has Toll House cookies that are pumpkin spice flavored. And the weirdest one that I found, even more strange than the dark chocolate sea salt pumpkin beer flavored something, even more strange, Peeps. There are pumpkin spice flavored Peeps. Why? Okay, so now what do we do about that? What do we do about all these pumpkin spice things? Why do we not need to panic? The girls on in the If You Have an Egg group, and I'm saying girls because none of the guys have chimed in yet. And Alan, if you're there, you know there's time to chime in. But here's what the girls are doing. They are working hard at making sure that they make smart point choices, but still enjoy pumpkin spice season. So here are a few of the things that they are doing. Cheerios. Well, actually, Popcorn Karen, if she's here, Popcorn Karen has amassed, I think, every flavor of pumpkin spice cereal that there is, and she is grading them for us. Well, last year she did a full out or a full on pumpkin spice cereal comparison thing. Like, I seriously think she had every brand of pumpkin spice cereal that there was, but she found Cheerios, Life cereal, shredded mini wheats, Special K, Trader Joe O's, and then there were a few others that were pumpkin spice flavored. And we'll have to wait until she's either on here commenting or whatever to tell us what her favorite was. But if I'm not mistaken, in order of importance or order of flavor, she had them ranked. The pumpkin spice shredded mini wheats, I think, was first. I think the pumpkin spice Life cereal was second. Cheerios, like, were third, maybe Special K was fourth. And these are all pumpkin spice flavored. And then the Trader Joe O's, I think, were bottom of the list, which is sad. But, you know, Trader Joe's can't be awesome at everything. And Cheryl says there's pumpkin spice oatmeal. Awesome. If y'all, so I'm going to read off some, but if you all know some more, please shout them out, because here in about 4 minutes, y'all are going to be screaming at me to switch to back to the acorns. Okay. And all of those pumpkin spice cereals for a serving are somewhere in between 4 and 6 or 7 smart points. And they have lots of pumpkin spice flavor. I actually mix them. So I'll take some Trader Joe's multi-grain. Oh my gosh, and now Pamela Sue says 4 minutes. I have 4 minutes! I'm just going to go ahead and say we'll be late starting the next topic. But I'll take these and, oh, and Lisa says she's going to make pumpkin empanadas in the air fryer. Seriously, Lisa, you're going to have to explain that to us. So I expect to see some typing here because I want you to explain that. But I take the cereal that says 3 minutes, no pressure. But I take the cereal and I cut it with another kind of cereal. So like Trader Joe's regular multigrain O's, and then use some of the pumpkin spice cereal to reduce the points. Keurig and McCafe both have pumpkin spice latte flavored coffee. That is 0 points because it's just coffee, but it's pumpkin spice flavored. Then you could add some unsweetened vanilla almond milk. You can add, some of the girls in the group have had those like the pump foamy things of coffee. If y'all are on here, just shout out whatever those are, but the pump, like Skinny Girl or something, pump foam things for your coffee, but you could make your own. Thomas has pumpkin spice bagels. And they also have a limited edition pumpkin spice, like English muffins, and those are not too terribly high in points. I think Halo Top has a pumpkin flavored ice cream, and we all know Halo Top is about 2 to 3 points for a half a cup, so that would be a great alternative. Yogurt. I have seen all kinds of pumpkin spice yogurts out there, and you can get, you know, some of the lighter ones that are only 2 or 3 smart points, you know, for the yogurt. Pumpkin flax granola. Somebody in the If You Have an Egg group was asking earlier about our favorite kinds of granola, and pumpkin flax granola is available year round, and it is really good, and it's delicious. You know, blended in with some other, you know, flavors of yogurt. Baked stuffed apples, I've made those already, I think 3 times this week. Those were 2 smart points, and I'll post the recipe when we get off of here. Yeah, Symphony says that there's a pumpkin caramel skinny syrup. Yeah, y'all keep it up, keep talking about that, because now Pamela Sue's saying 1 minute. Okay, so I've been making the baked stuffed apples. One of the Karens in our group has been making 2 smart point apple tarts. Sally is the apple pie, the 1 smart point apple pie queen. She's got the market on the 1 smart point apple pie. Sally, have you tried making a pumpkin pie? in it yet. Have you tried doing like a pumpkin turnover? I know you did bananas the other day, but what about pumpkin? We need to know. Inquiring minds, we need to know. Popcorn Karen made chocolate pumpkin muffins and cookies. And if you go on the If You Have an Egg, if you're already in our group, if you go to search this group, you can look up all of these things and and find them. Lisa, who I think Lisa, aren't you here somewhere? Lisa made pumpkin pie overnight oats. Yeah. How easy and how lazy is that? That you make them the night before, stick them in the refrigerator, pull them out the next day, and eat them. Yeah. So Lisa, you can share that one too. The pumpkin pie overnight oats. Suzanne has got a pumpkin French toast. Okay, and Pamela says it's time. Give me just a little bit more time. Okay, I'm gonna hit snooze on Pamela. Snooze. I'm hitting snooze for a second because I want to finish my list. Suzanne does pumpkin French toast, and Suzanne has that on her blog, and I think it's Simply Filling. It's Suzanne's Kitchen, Simply Filling, or something like that. Suzanne, hush Sally. So Suzanne, if you're still here, if you'll post your blog, the address to your blog, or I'll post and I'll post it in the transcripts. But I've had her pumpkin French toast. Ooh, my gosh, is it good? Okay, and I have some. Tracy says pumpkin fluff. We could do that. We could actually do that. Okay, and I have some potentially exciting news. Dax is sending me a secret something to try, and it should be here in just a couple of days. And then one of our ladies at in our actual group, she asked me if I could make and I'm not going to tell you what it is. She asked me if I could make that, and I went, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. I don't know why I couldn't make that. But if Dax sends me what I think they're sending me, or what they've said that they're sending me, pretty sure I can make this happen. So maybe mid to the end of the week, we may have yet another pumpkin spice thing to try. So who's in? Okay. Oh, but Carla says she can't have much pumpkin spice stuff. Okay, so if you can't have pumpkin spice, another good fall flavor is cinnamon and sugar, or cinnamon apples. So don't forget to check out some of those things that are cinnamon and sugar, or cinnamon apples too. Okay, one more sip of water, because I know my snooze is getting ready to go off. Pamela and Sally, the snooze is getting ready to go off. Okay, so is my time up? Is my snooze up? Is it time to go back to this? Okay. So what are these? Y'all tell me again, what are these? And Carla, that makes me sad that you can't have cinnamon, can't have too much cinnamon either. We'll find you something else to eat. So who can tell me what these are? I have 3 of these. And remember, the squirrels were throwing these at Dusty and I when we were walking the other day. And actually, we had John here for just a little bit. We have him today, and then he's going out of town tomorrow, but the squirrels were throwing them again this morning. So what are these? Okay, lots of good answers. Okay, Sally says she used to throw them at her brothers and hit them in the head. I have a feeling that's not too long ago either. Okay, so everybody's coming up with acorns, right? Acorns, acorns, acorns. Good job. Whoever said Buckeyes earlier has quit saying Buckeyes. Acorns. Okay. These are not acorns. I'm going to tell you that much. These are not acorns. Does anybody want to guess what they are? If they're not acorns? Now look at them. Look at them really closely. What's a chickpin? Shana says they're what? What does that even say? Chickapins. What is a chickapin? No, it didn't come from a maple tree. Okay, so this is a trick question. These are not acorns. They're oak trees. Do y'all see the oak tree? Do you see it in there? Do you see if I show you the little crack in there? Do you see it? This is an oak tree. Cheryl says very small walnuts. No, and Shirley, no, they're not chestnuts. It's an oak tree. Okay, these are acorns, but this is also an oak tree. So this little bitty acorn, Look, it's just a little tiny nut. It's just a little tiny nut, and squirrels throw them. Squirrels love them. They're small enough they fit in my hand. Look, I have 3 of them in my hand. Well, I have 3 of them in my hand, and they don't even take up much room. But this little bitty nut that squirrels use to, they hide them, they bury them, they use them, they throw them at dogs, they throw them at humans as they're walking by. But this is actually an oak tree. So the reason I'm talking about this today is I want you all to set a goal for yourself, and I want you to set a goal to be an oak tree. The reason I know this sounds corny or oaky or acorny, or it sounds acorny, but the reason I want you to, yeah, and Kim says it's a live oak seed. Yes, it is. The reason I want you to set a goal to be an oak tree is because if we all just said, oh, I'm just an acorn, I'll never be anything more than an acorn. I'm just an acorn, I'm just little, I can't do anything, you know, I'm hard, I'm just gonna be squirrel food, I'm just gonna be ammunition for Sally against her brothers, and you know, yeah, I'm just an acorn, that's all I'm ever gonna be. And then when somebody waters us and we break open, or a squirrel throws us and we hit the ground and we break open like this one is, and then we get wet, and we start to germinate and a little leaf comes out, then we go, a lot of us go, well, okay, I'm still an acorn. Yeah, I've got one little leaf coming out, but I'll never be more than just a little leaf. I'll never be more than just a little cracked acorn with one leaf sticking out. You know, I didn't get enough water today, or I didn't get the right kind of food to make myself be an oak tree, so I'm still just gonna be an acorn. And then some little roots come out, and then all of us together, and I know this is so corny, John's getting up and walking out, but anyway, then all of us together, we start feeding those roots, and we start watering those little leaves that are coming out, and guess what? The little roots get bigger, and the little roots start getting to be bigger roots, and they make more little leaves, and then the more little leaves that we make, and the more that we help each other, and the more that we feed our little roots, the bigger we get, and we get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then guess what? If we let ourselves, we become an oak tree. So this little wee tiny acorn, is just like you. So that's what you all are right now at the beginning of autumn. At the beginning of autumn, you're just a little tiny acorn, and you just fell from a big tree, or a squirrel threw you down. You know, and for those of you that are in Florida right now, you probably feel like squirrels are throwing you from the trees, and you feel like, you know, that you're just going to sit there and that your little acorn might rot, and that it's never, ever, ever going to do anything but just be a little acorn. But it's not. It has so much more inside of it. It has leaves and roots, and it has the ability to make more acorns. So I want everybody to set a goal. I want y'all to set a goal that you're going to be an oak tree. And once you are an oak tree, I want you to feed and water yourselves, but then I want you to make some acorns. Do you understand what I mean by making acorns? So keep helping each other. The girls that are in the If You Have an Egg group are so generous with their time, so generous with their recipes. I'm going to pick on Sally again for just a second. I know we have a good time. We have a good time, and we laugh a lot, and we do a lot of funny things, but Sally has spent a lot of time making acorns. She has already helped so many girls to find this one, you know, a one smart point solution to their cinnamon spice, you know, needs, to their, you know, their pumpkin spice, you know, desires. She's planting acorns, and she's planting acorns, and so she's planting trees. Yes, and Kim says that we will become a forest. We will. So if we help each other, and I know that's sappy, and I know everybody's going, oh my gosh, you know, just, why are you ending this one on a, you know, sappy note? I don't know why I am. But when I found these, when the squirrels were throwing them, at first I was kind of irritated, and I was like, hey guys, you know, don't hit us in the head. You know, you're going to kill us. I mean, you could do some damage. Sally knows you could do some damage with one of these. But then as we kept walking on, I was like, and I saw the little acorns you know, laying on the ground where the squirrels had thrown them, and I turned around and I looked at the trees, and these acorn trees were huge. I mean, they were absolutely huge, and they're down at Market Square, here, you know, here in Knoxville, and they're just giant. They're giant, and I thought, wow, those trees came from these little bitty acorns, and they provide shelter, they provide food, they provide, you know, they help to hold the ground together right there. Their roots help, you know, it helps to hold the ground together. Anyway, but they come from these little bitty acorns. So, who wants to be an oak tree? Everybody that wants to be an oak tree, let's see some hearts. And everybody that wants to help make some acorns, let's see some thumbs ups. So, we're actually probably going to end just a couple of minutes early tonight because of my sappy oak tree story. And that is very sweet. Sally says, you are the soil to our oak trees. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. So, okay, I want you guys to be oak trees. I want you to be giant oak trees. And I want to see your acorns. And I want to see them everywhere. So, how funny would it be for us to be in the group for people who didn't join the chat? How funny then would it be for us to go around telling them that we want them to be oak trees, and they would have to go and they would have to go back and, you know, and watch this to see what we were talking about. Anyway, so just remember. Oh, and Dusty wants to come and tell everybody that he wants to be an oak tree too. Hold on, I'll grab him. So, we will wind down tonight's chat with all of you oak trees, and with Dusty encouraging all of you all to become oak trees. Just don't let your squirrels throw your nuts at them. So, yeah. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for being here again tonight. Remember to come back and check this on the blog, www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. And if you watch this on YouTube, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So hopefully we can get to 1,000 and open up those little, it almost feels like a little, I don't know, like a video game or something. But anyway, so let's get going. So good night, my oak trees. I know y'all are my egglets, but tonight you're my oak trees. So good night, everybody. I will see you next week. Everybody have an awesome week. And girls in Florida, take care. And remember, check in when you can. We want to hear from you. Good night.